Hello, hello. My name is Tyler, and today I am going to take a tour of my forever world, or at least a long-term world here in my city. So we are taking the train in now, and I want to kind of document this world. I've been building on it for about a year now, as of June 2025, and I want to take a look at the progress that I've made so far, talk about a little bit my future plans as we arrive into the station. I was waiting for that obnoxious noise. And then be able to come back in a year or 6 months from now, whenever, and see the progress that I've made. So, this is my station. This is North Station. You see we just took the train in. We have a trains plugin on our server that we can set up different stations. So this is the North Station. I've kind of finished the exterior. I haven't really detailed it yet. You'll see there isn't really a lot of detail yet. And the tracks, I don't know if you can tell, they're just floating still. So lots of work to be done. You'll see a little sneak peek of some unfinished things over there. So this is by no means a finished city. This is still pretty unfinished and early on in the city's life. You'll see flat, unfinished buildings everywhere, but I have been working on this about a year and I want to kind of document. So this is going to be the international terminal. We have some stray cats. As you'll see, they love the dirt floor because my mud farm is not very efficient and it takes a long time to make packed mud. You'll see that later. But this is going to be the international terminal of my station. You can see the ceiling is very dark and spooky. And it's not done, so we'll finish that in the future. But let's go downstairs. This is to keep the villagers out because I have villagers free roaming in my city and they like to come up here, fall down into these holes, fall off the tracks, and get hurt. You'll see the interior here is also not finished at all. There's eventually going to be an outdoor little area. I don't want to spoil too much of the city yet, so let's go back inside. This I still need to finish, but you'll see eventually we're going to have international, we're going to have high-speed rail, and a metro line. So let's take a look at the metro line first. See a farmer here. Loves the empty station. A sneak peek of the city down there. We'll see that more in the future. So this is going to be our high-speed rail. It's not currently set up, but we're going to use nether portals. I don't know, can you see? No, you can't see. It's going to use the nether roof and go to some of my friends' cities in the future, but it's not set up yet. So we're going to ignore that and head down to the A-Line Metro, which this is the most finished. It's not, I still need to like detail. I have some new signage designs that I need to put up. So it's not done yet, but it's more finished than the other two. So let's take a ride on the train. This is North Station on the Nova Metro A-Line, and we'll take a look through here. Let me turn this back on so we can see the announcements. You can kind of hear the whooshing of the nether portal there. So this is the second and currently only other finished station. This is 5th Street, though you can't really see. Eventually I'm going to have signs here that are cuter. But for now, this is what we got. I'm going to have a diagram of the metro line here, but it's only 2 stations still. So I haven't done that. You'll see I've made tracks that go to a new station, but that's all I've done. I haven't built the new station yet. So let's exit the station, come up here. So this is 5th Street Station. You can see it's on 5th Street. Let's see, I have lots of security here. I just have villagers roaming, and then I don't like to sleep very often, so phantoms come by just about every night, and I think that's why there are so many iron golems, because everywhere else in the city is pretty mob proof. I've gone and mob proofed everything, but the phantoms come in the sky, and I think that scares the villagers. So this is the metro. I am going to kind of go roughly in order based on what's the oldest and what's the newest. I mean, we arrived at the train station. That's the newest building. It's still not finished. But this is the back door of my dripstone and lava farm. The lava farm was one of the earliest things that I did in this world, because I don't like having to dig for coal constantly to cook food and smelt things. But there aren't a lot of dripstone caves near my area, so I only found a few pieces of dripstone, so I had to kind of grow them. You'll see I don't really keep up with it because I don't use dripstone that much right now, and I don't have that many pieces there. I love the copper grates. You see, this is the newer block when we started this world, and so I used a lot of it everywhere. This box is, I gathered all the materials to make an Enderman farm, and then like an Enderman XP farm, and then I just got lazy and didn't actually build it because I've just been trading with villagers for XP. So eventually either me or one of my friends will hopefully build this. I'm hoping, since I gathered all these materials and they just have to build it, that one of my friends will want to, but so far nobody wants to build that. Nobody wants to work these days. So here's my dripstone and lava farm. That is one of the oldest buildings. The next one, we'll go out the back door again, and we'll go down here. This is I call it paper because that's what I first grew. It started as just a little field with sugarcane. I'm hoping that I have screenshots of what it looked like before. I'm so bad at taking screenshots, so we'll see if I have any from the little field that it was that I could pop in here, but if not, you'll see I started to use a little bit of leaf litter. That's the newest, and you'll see some particles. I think I hid a firefly bush somewhere. Oh yeah, right there. Just to give a little bit of particles as the golem climbs up there. Anyway, so this is, it started out, here's the employee. It started out as just a little field for sugarcane, so I could start making books to enchant. I've replaced most of it with bamboo, and you'll see this is probably not helping, and why I get some lag lately. It's now bamboo and it is overflowing. So this is just, it just uses daylight sensors. Instead of having a observer on each one, I just have a daylight sensor for daytime and then nighttime. So every so often during the day and during the night, it will go off and break the bamboo or the sugarcane. So I have little skylights so that it lets light in. I will drop the link to the farm tutorial that I use because I did not come up with this. But this is just the factory back here. There's nothing. So let me go back to the front. And we can go down here to where a minecart collects. It goes around. I think it's not going around now because it's totally full. So it's set up to drop off bamboo. Let's see what happens when I empty it out so that this can, yeah, when it's not totally full, it goes around, collects all the pieces and drops them off in here. But you'll see I stocked up on so much sugarcane and paper for rockets that I'm never going to use this much. So I started making bamboo. I just have so much. So the basement, you'll see I had to start expanding because I was overflowing this little tiny area, and I need to finish that, but that's going to be the theme of this city, is unfinished, half-done projects. So you'll come out here. If you watched my previous video, you might remember this right here used to be a mess of chests and shulkers and furnaces, and now it's a building. So I relocated the mess. You'll see that's the train station over there, the newest building. I relocated the mess to here, but at least it's all organized now. Before it was like kind of organized, but like mostly a mess right there. Now it's all organized, but still kind of a mess. But this building, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet. I just saw a Lego building on Pinterest that was like kind of similar to this. Like the color palettes was a little bit similar, and it was like roughly this shape. And I was like, oh, I could build that. So then I built it without really a plan of what I'm gonna put inside. So right now it's like empty. I was thinking maybe a bank. Could have like a counter here or something. And then in the back here I have some elevators. But so far it's not done and it's empty because I haven't figured out what I want to put in here. I thought about a moss farm or like a bone meal moss farm, but all the tutorials that I found they're too big. They won't fit in this spot. So I need to come up with something else. But I think maybe the layout, a bank might make sense, but like what am I really, I mean, I guess I could store like my emeralds and like diamonds and stuff here, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, that's another unfinished building. This is the front of the lava and dripstone farm. This was before, these signs here were before I found a mod. Shout out to Bars. And I think he got it from someone else. I think he shouted out someone else when he found it, or when he talked about it. But I was making these ones by hand, and it was very annoying. And I don't think I've even, I haven't even like waxed them, so they could be easily changed and it would be annoying. And then this one, someone could very easily break that and it would knock the whole sign down, I think. And that would be very sad. But now that I have the mod, less sad. But yeah, you'll see I like to use a lot of paintings as if they're like billboards and advertisements and signs. So you'll see that. So next to this building, like attached to it, is my super smelter building. You'll see I'm going to put some signs there. I just haven't designed them yet. Part of the mess here with chests and shulker boxes were my furnaces where I was smelting things. So when I tore that down, I needed a place to smelt, and I was kind of lazy, so I didn't want to have to manually smelt everything. So I've made a super smelter. Oh, and you'll see I'm not very good at waxing my things, so my friends like to assault me verbally. But the items go in here, fuel goes in here, which actually, now that we're here, let me just drop off some extra fuel. Eventually I want to connect the bamboo farm with some auto crafters to make bamboo planks, bring them over here automatically. Somehow maybe in the back, and then I can manually pick them up and bring them here. I don't need it to be like totally automated. I've been watching a lot of Create mod videos and series where everything is just automated and done for you. So this is much more vanilla. So I don't need to go that crazy in this world, but turn that on. I think it's 32 furnaces total, and then your items come out here. And then I've done a little bit of decorating, just a crafting table if I need it. This is, I was going to build a sign on the roof, like those Hollywood signs where it's like kind of like scaffolding with like big letters or like advertisements. But I haven't done that yet, so I just left it here in the shulker box. And then I imagine these are things that have been smelted, so like stone, clay things. And then I don't know what these really are meant to be, but just some storage boxes. Back here I have just a little cabinet, a little towel. I don't really know. I don't know. I've just picked random things to put here as decoration for now. But yeah, I have actually a back door here that leads just to like an alleyway. Ooh, the shaders are getting a little bit crazy on the railing there. So this is the back of the sugarcane farm. And you'll see my chorus fruit temporary farm back there. So this is one of the newer things. We're not really going in order because I'm just walking around whatever's closest. But this is one of the earlier things here. So this is my villager breeder and zombification area. So we'll go in here. And so over here I have the villager breeder itself. I put the beds, normally there's beds here for it to work. And then you'll see the farmers in there growing potatoes. Whoops. And then the babies fall down here. But I had to pick the beds up to stop them from breeding because there's so many villagers here, and once it gets like more than 25 or something, they start getting squished to death. And I don't want them to die like that. So I have minecarts in here, push the button, grabs a villager. Actually, I guess I can show you. So this is flipped. This was over here. I didn't need to, I just wanted bricks, so I didn't need to zombify them. So if I don't want to zombify them, I can just send them straight out to here and then can release them into the world that way. But if I do want to zombify them, I switch this so it sends it down that way. Push the button, it grabs a villager, sends them along. I go down the staircase. Oh. And this is supposed to be turned off first. So they come down the staircase, go here to the zombie that stole my door. And then once they're zombified, I turn that on and it sends them over here. And then I can send the next one here. So there's 3 little slots. And so there's 3 little slots they can go in. Then I can throw the potion here, bring them back, and then push that button and I'll send them back. I'm going to actually, let's see if this works. It might send them too far. Let me get out the way. Oh, I just realized my subtitles are on this whole time. That was probably distracting for the video. I'm sorry. Oh. Here, I think they need to be on the other. I think that's gonna send them back up. Yeah, that's not what I wanted at all. So, where did they end up? Oh, that's fine. Send you back down. Okay. It's been a while since I've been zombifying, as you can tell. So there, they get sent over there. Then I can throw potions when I have 3 of them, or just how many ever, and then send it back. We'll just leave him there for now because I don't need a zombie villager. I also have a little upstairs area. I have like a little office here. This is my vault. So we have a plugin that we can get our balance. So I have 10,000 emeralds because we use that as currency on our server. And that's like the vault that they get sent to. And then here's just a little storage with nothing actually in it. The next building here is a cow farm. It started out as 1, and then I quickly expanded it to 4. I originally had this set up as a steakhouse, as a restaurant, but it's doesn't really make sense as a restaurant. There's not really that much space, so I had like tables squeezed in, a little booth up here, and I had an upstairs. We'll go in free cam a bit. So I had tables here. I think I tore them all out, and part of the floor, because the villagers kept climbing up here and getting stuck. So I had to tear the upper floor and the stairs out. So I'm going to redecorate this area and make it not a restaurant theme, more of just like a meat processing area. But basically the way this works is you take some wheat, you come up here, and actually let me heal up my tools. And you just go around breeding up the cows. And the more you have, the more it can make. So I have 4 of them. Just go around to all 4, feed them the wheat. You get a little bit of XP. I mean, you're not going to get tons of XP here. This isn't 4 XP. You would have to build so many of them and use so much wheat. It would not be worth it. But then down here, get my leather and the meat. Oops, I didn't want that. The other side has the interior I can show you. So they're all just sitting on top of hoppers that get sent into this chest, so I can pick them all up at once and then bring them into the kitchen area. And then I put them in different chests and get meat out here. And I can grab my steak and be done. So that was one of the oldest things. One of the first things I do in a world is set up that cow farm, because I hate not having food. So if I go down this little street here, this is a relatively new addition down here, this basement. The door always stays open because I can't put pressure plates the way it's set up. Anyway, this is my like meat and food storage area for the ones that I don't really use. Like I don't even have enough to have extra from like the decoration, but like mutton and chicken and pork. Here, I think I have more. I have feathers and some chicken here. What is this? Beef. And then some vegetables over here. So this is just the storage, and then I have a little kitchen area over here for like processing the meat, a little sink. I try to have ender chests just all around the city, just so that there's one near at all times. So that's like a new addition. I had lots of space under this building, as you see. So I was like, I'm gonna just make a little cellar. It's like kind of abandoned. You can see some like cobwebs out of the pale hanging moss. A little scale. I thought that was clever. But yeah, so that's the cow farm. So now if we go up this street back here, oh, you see the lights turned on. So I've made it so everywhere in the city is mob proof. But some of the lights only come on at night, like these street lights. I have them all around. Oh, there's one down there as well. So some of them aren't lit up until nighttime, which I think is a fun way to add life, is just to make things turn on and off, so that whenever you catch it, you're like, oh, everything's not just static, it's changing a little bit. So down this way, here's some more of those lights. I'm eventually going to make these a little bit taller, similar to the one over there, so they're not like bright light right at eye level, but I haven't done that yet. So here's another view of North Station, as these are slowly aging down. I want them to be green to tie in with like what's that called? The prismarine on the inside. But they're just slowly aging down. But anyway, this is another not finished project here. This is my basalt generator. So this always breaks, but if I turn this, oh yeah, it works. So this is not the most like efficient way to do this. If you do it this type of farm in the nether, I think it makes it a lot faster. You see it's kind of slow each new piece to generate, but so far it's been totally fine. And then I just store it in here. So eventually I'm going to make a building for this, but so far this is what I have. And then if we come over here, underneath my city, let's take a look in FreeCam because it's very dangerous. There's like a huge cavern with a nice kind of cave down. Oh, there's a zombie village. Oh, how did you get there? Interesting, but you'll see there's tons of mobs and it's not safe at all. But there's like this huge cavern down here that I want to eventually build an underground city in this area, but I just have not gotten around to it yet. Eventually I'm going to build probably a building around this, so it's not just open like this, but have some sort of entrance down there to the underground city. But we'll see when I get around to that. Maybe in the June 2026 update of this world, I will have started. Let's hope. But here you can see a better view of the elevated rails that are just floating off into the horizon, into the savanna across the river. Eventually, I'm going to have probably, maybe not the next video, but a couple of videos from now, I'm going to do a big expansion on my rail system and really clean up the station, the other station, build some new stations, and detail this so that it's not just floating here. Because I have a design already done that I've made in Creative. I just haven't built it yet in Survival because I have not gotten around to it. I just barely finished this and it's not even finished yet, so we'll see. I like to plan things out here. You'll see lots of netherrack and wool around just to kind of plan, like, not actually the shape of a specific building, but I just want to get an idea of where buildings will be relative to the street. So the street is kind of super narrow here between this building and this kind of retaining wall, and then it kind of opens up to be a little bit wider. So I just like to get an idea of where, like how close buildings are going to be to the street. Usually they pretty drastically change once I actually get an idea for building. The shapes of these, like this might end up being one big building, kind of like this, and it might be like 2 or 3 smaller buildings. I don't know, but I just like to just plan out like how close they're going to be to the street so I can start to get an idea of how dense it's going to be. This area I want to be like pretty dense and all the buildings like kind of tall and close together. So we'll go, I'm gonna probably have some sort of street that goes there and connects down to here, but let's go this way first for now. So this is the mud farm. You'll see it says mud, so we know it's the mud farm. Packed mud, just regular mud. So this is going to be replaced hopefully soon because I use a lot of mud. This farm it's great, but it doesn't, I need something that makes more mud faster and less. You have to like constantly be clicking. I know I could get like an auto click software or something to click for me, but it's just like, I don't know. It's not the most efficient. And then like bottles fall out of it all the time. So it has bottles. This is where you put dirt. It has like bottles that get full up. There's water there. And then they get up there and it like hydrates the mud or the dirt. Here I can, why don't I do that? So it automatically gets the mud and then you break it and it goes down there. But it's a little too manual. and it doesn't make it fast enough. So eventually I want to just turn this into like a little mud shop here. Right now it just kind of looks like a storage thing, but I want to turn it into a little shop where I can store some mud. Oh, I have a shovel there. Interesting. And maybe turn this into like a little museum of like the first mud farm, but then build like a bigger, better one, maybe back here, near here somewhere. But that's a project for the future. So that's the mud farm. And then this is the front of North Station. Eventually I'm gonna have some signs saying that it's North Station, so you'll know that it's a train station, because it doesn't really look like a train station. But down here, this is one of my older apartment buildings, and on the first floor there is Tough Stuff, which is a maybe temporary name. Maybe it's probably going to end up being a permanent name, just because I'm probably not going to end up changing it. But this is the Tough Shop, rather. And this is kind of just like the bare bones of what I want all my storage areas to look like. I want to have specific areas for each kind of block. So this is Tough variants. I use Tough a lot, so it's pretty much sold out except the raw Tough here. And then this box, and eventually I'm gonna have a basement. I just haven't dug it out yet. But this is the non-decorated but just loose idea of like this is how I like my storage. I don't want to have just one big storage room. I want to have like little storefronts and shops that you can come in, grab whatever you need, and go. But it looks kind of nice like a shop. Leaving the Tough Shop, if you go to the right over here, this also needs to be cleaned up a bit. But I basically want to have ender chests, stone cutters, crafting tables, kind of all around the city because I use them so often. I just want them kind of everywhere, so they're always kind of within reach. Obviously not just thrown around on the sidewalk and on stumps here, and beds. I want beds to be kind of everywhere. So this is just kind of like a reminder, like, hey, find a spot for all of these things eventually. I had a stump here because I wanted to put a tree here, but I'm not very good at making trees. I need to practice a lot making trees. So I just put a stump to remind me, and then these things just kind of found their way here. But we'll ignore that for now. And we'll go over here. You'll see this building that the Tough Shop is on. There is an apartment building above it. And this like fire escape looking thing is the way to get inside the apartment building. So you'll see I have, you'll see this was also before the mod. That lets me write big text, but I have little apartments. So these interiors are pretty much done. I mean, some of the walls are pretty blank and I could decorate some more, but I have some couches, little kitchens here, little bedrooms here. And they're all pretty much the same, just like slightly differently decorated. But we can go upstairs and I'll show you. I need to have a better railing because the villagers like to just stand up here and then jump off and die. But yeah, I have like different, kind of slightly different layouts with the furniture, but it's mostly all the same. I think the villagers like to hang out on the top floor for some reason. Yeah, they always come up here. And there's lots of them. And you'll see I have some curtains here because this one you can look directly in from the train station. So I want to add a little bit more privacy. Not all, I haven't done all of them yet, but I want to give the villagers a little bit of privacy. So people arriving to the train station can't just look directly into your window if you don't want. But yeah. Oh, there's so many villagers just roaming around. I can never find the villagers that I want to trade with. because they're all just roaming around and getting stuck in buildings. But yeah, the view here is so cool. This is my sheep farm, my very modest sheep farm. You see I have a wall kind of around the city a little bit. I don't want, this is not going to be permanent. I just wanted it to look a little bit nice because it's been there a while. Eventually I'm going to have like a nice grand entryway here. This street goes off up the hill, around the hill to my friends' cities. And there's a beacon here because underneath here I have my like mining entrance and I get a lot of stone and stuff from right there. But I like coming up here and just like looking at the city. You'll see some of the buildings that we've toured here, the mud farm. You'll see villagers just roaming around. And then some plans for some streets, just a rough street plan. You'll notice though, if you've been paying very close attention, that there's never four-way intersections. All the intersections are just three ways. So anytime you get to an intersection, you only have two ways that you can go, either left or right. I don't want there ever to be a four-way intersection. I think this way it makes it a little bit less confusing and it's like less decisions to be making to explore the city. It's easier to just like start running and exploring when you either have left or right. So it's been a little tricky to come up with a layout and not a grid, but like a city plan. Doing it that way, but I like the way it's coming along. So if we come down this way next to, so this is the apartment building we were just in, where the Tough Shop is. Here is another apartment building. The interior of this one's not done yet, but you'll see I started to texture the outside of the building. And this was the first one that I used the big text mod that I'll drop a link for because I forgot what it's called already. But this is going to be a floor shop. You'll see it's not done. The sidewalk is still grass and there's no step, and the interior is very much not done. But this is where I'm going to store all my sort of like leaves and flowers and plants of all sorts. This was my shulker that I took to explore the new plants. So I got the leaf litter, the tall and short dry grass, the new wildflower, firefly bush, the bushes, the cactus flowers, and then picked up some like biome specific flowers that we found along the way. What's over here? Oh, it's pale moss variants. Just some more overflow of plant type things. This is ferns and bushes, or short grass rather. I don't know why this is like this. I don't know why that's like that. Let's actually fix that because I don't remember why that was like that. Oh, I think there's gonna be a door here. I think I wanted a doorway here, yeah. But I don't know why it was the way it was. Let's see, okay. Anyway, so you'll see in the back here, I roughly planned out some more buildings. Not really anything specific, I just want there to be like a very narrow alleyway back here. And then these buildings would face a street that's not built yet over there. And just have like a little tiny alleyway in the back so that you can like navigate your way through and like take shortcuts and stuff, but it's not the main way to go. So we'll go back out the front. And then this is gonna be the apartment. I still haven't done the front. I'm gonna do like an awning or some sort of entryway to this apartment building. And then probably saw here, there's a back entrance. So this way it's easier to just like cut through. I'm gonna decorate this very mildly so that it's just basically like a shortcut to the back. And then I can have an entrance to this shop. So if I'm over there on this street or at the station, I can take a shortcut through here. I want there to be lots of ways to just get around and navigate the whole city. So that's why I'm using this as an apartment building, but like also mostly as a way to cut through to the back easily, rather than if you're here having to like, I'm gonna put another building right up next to it, which is why I've not detailed this yet. You're gonna have to like go all the way around or go all the way around. I want there to be an easy way to just cut through to get back there. But this apartment building is not finished. I have like a bedroom, and this is like a bathroom, and then like a living and kitchen area, but I haven't actually built it yet because laziness. And why is this? I don't know why that's there. Maybe I ran out of jungle planks when I was building it. And then here's a way to get to the roof. I'm gonna put some sort of rooftop thing here. I don't know what yet, but I think it'll be nice. I want the building back there to be kind of shorter so you can still get a view there, and then a view of the river. Though that might be blocked by a building next door. I don't know. These are all the things I take into account. I like to have views and sight lines and all that, so it takes me a long time to build new buildings. And then I can never get down these stupid ladders on one block. Okay. But yeah, so this is that apartment building. Again, lots of projects you'll notice are not done. Speaking of which, here is an elevator down to the metro platform. And then I was gonna have one up to there and down, but I'm gonna have to rework it because I was planning this elevator system before I planned the elevated track up there. And you'll see it's directly under there. So the way I was gonna do it isn't gonna work, so I have to rethink that. But I wanted a quicker way rather than having to go through the station, because you'll see if I needed flowers and then I needed to get downtown to a different area that I was working on, I'd have to run all the way over here, up the stairs, and then down the stairs, and then down again to get into the metro. Where instead I could get Tough. I get Tough a lot. I use Tough a lot, as you've probably already noticed. They're like one of my favorite new-ish. They're not really that new anymore, but one of my favorite block variants. They have so many different variants that I use all over the place. So I know I'm constantly getting Tough, constantly going to use flowers and things that I'm decorating. So I wanted a quick way to get to the metro here. Just jump down, hop on a train. So we're going to go back to the 5th Street station. It's supposed to be dark and spooky, so it's not well lit on purpose because subway tunnels are usually not well lit. So here, we'll get off at 5th Street and get out again. This is a fare gate just to prevent villagers from coming down here and walking on the tracks and getting hit by a train. But I just love coming upstairs from the metro and seeing like just buildings, because it used to just be like sky. So I like that it's starting to get filled in. Actually, yeah, I'll steal this bed. So here, eventually I'll have a sign, but this is an apartment building next to the metro station. It's not built yet. I'm gonna have like a lobby area down here. It's pretty small. So I'm gonna have like an apartment on this floor and then an apartment on the top floor. And that's basically it. But great views. I love the views of the city. Imagine when it's all filled with buildings, and my beacons will have homes that are not just towers on top of the building, not just pyramids on top of a building. But look at that. You can see villagers in the apartment building across the street, security on the roof. See the different buildings. Down here, a sneak peek to what we're gonna go see next. But yeah, this apartment building is also not done. Like most everything in the city, it's not done. This is also temporary. This is temporary. There's a lot of cleanup that needs to be done, but there's plenty of time. This is a tiny little, what are these called? Cocoa bean farm. I like the idea of like little community gardens and farms around the city. For things that I don't really use that much of, like I use brown dye, but not that much of it. So just like little community farms as like decorations around the city. And then I like using beds as benches so that whenever, if it's like phantoms are attacking you, well, I have cats everywhere, so they don't really attack you that much, but their screeching can get annoying. So I like to have beds everywhere. That is annoying. The villagers, instead of going into all the beds in the apartments, they just sleep on the benches, but it's fine. So this is just an apartment building. There's 2 apartments on each floor. I started to do little kitchens and beds, but I haven't really finished. They all have little balconies and patios though. So if we go upstairs, we'll see, we'll go up to the 3rd floor. That's where the villagers usually like come up here and hang out and then never reset their trades because they don't leave. I don't know if they get stuck. I think these might not be tall enough. Like they might get stuck. I don't know. Or they're just dumb. But you'll see there. They have little balconies. I had to put the glass here so that they don't jump up here and fall down to their death like they like to do. But yeah. So we'll leave. This is just an apartment building. Nothing else in it. And it's also not really done. I want to do some sort of kind of like a town square. I put a bell over here just to remind me that eventually I want to have like maybe a fountain or something here with a bell so that it's like, because this is kind of like a nice open area. I'm going to have a small building here and then like maybe a medium-sized building here so that it kind of feels like a little bit more enclosed, but still like an open kind of area, and then the train station so it's easy to get in and out of. But I want to have some sort of like town square here, but I haven't done that yet. But this building is my enchanting building. You probably heard the skulk sensor have spooky sounds coming. Why are you on top of the bookshelf? So this is my enchanting area, and I also have lots of, what are these called? They're not podiums. What are they? Lecterns. So that's where all the librarians hang out. And then just like kind of random things. I have to organize this. Back here is nothing yet. I'm gonna put like storage or something. But I use tinted glass blocks to block all the light coming in so that it looks dark and spooky even during the daytime. And then in here was supposed to be where I had a villager set up that was trading efficiency 5, but they escaped. I forget exactly the setup I had, but I think a bunch of other villagers got stuck in there. I think I had honey on the floor, so they couldn't jump up, but then they could jump up here. So then I had like 4 villagers here that were stuck, so I had to let them all out. And then I'm storing things in the walls here. Like all my books are here, stored in the walls. Like I said, it's not finished yet, and there's lots of work that needs to be done. But if I go out back, oh my god, excuse me, there is my little netherwort farm. I want to have like a little potions area. I think maybe I'm gonna have a potion shop here where this farm is, and then do like a basement area where I grow the netherwort. But I haven't got around to it. I just have so much netherwort. I like to make the nether bricks, the red nether bricks. So that's why I started growing this, not even for potions, but I have so much now that I'm like, I don't know, I ran out of storage there. The overflow is inside, so we'll see what I do with that eventually. But this is my like enchanting setup. I think these are all just like empty books, yeah. So if I need books, I can come in here and just grab. These are all like unenchanted, just plain books, and then these are the enchanted ones. But if we leave, we'll go over here and we'll see I started like a retaining wall. I like that my city's not flat, and I like having like different layers on the building. So I'm gonna have buildings here with like streets. And as I earlier said, I'm never gonna have four-way intersections. I have a plan here. I need to redo that. So maybe maybe this one will go like up this way. Connect here, and there'll be a building there. So that it's not a four-way intersection. I don't know. Like everything else, it's not finished yet. So there's still time to tweak it and change things. But if we come up here, this is going to be, I'm gonna have buildings here. So they're on different levels. I was gonna say something else there, but I don't know what else I would have said. Just gonna have buildings on different levels. But yeah, then we're gonna go up here. I got tired of building a retaining wall. I built all the way over there. We'll see the rest of it later. You see a sneak preview of my pumpkin farm. And I made a retaining wall all around. And then I started building it on this level, and then I was like, I need to do something else. I can't be building retaining walls for weeks on end, so it's not finished. And then speaking of not finished, here's my iron farm, which, why are you staring at the stone cutter? Oh, this is empty. The farm itself is finished, but the building is not. As you can see, it's a crazy mess. Oh, we're watching that. It's probably overflowing, and it is in fact overflowing. So yeah, this is the iron farm. You'll see golems spawn up there, get pushed into the lava, die, and then they get sent to there. So this building is obviously not done yet, and I think I'm gonna totally redo it eventually, but not yet. So now that it's getting dark, this is actually the perfect time. There's nothing up here yet. Oh, actually, let me show you my kind of plan of expanding and like choosing new places to develop is I'm going to build train stations. So you'll see I have these blue blocks here. And if we go underground, I've dug out a train station. This connects down to that other metro station that we saw. Down there, you can't really tell, but eventually there's going to be another station here. I just haven't built it yet. But we can go down the pathway, down the street. And that's kind of generous calling this a street. But we'll go this way and then take a right here. Past the nether wart. See my cactus farm in the distance and the other side of the coarse trees, whatever. Through here, this is where my temporary tree farm is. So anytime we need to chop down wood, I grow trees over here. But this is the retaining wall into the pumpkin farm, which as we get closer, you might be able to hear and now see I put a bunch of firefly bushes to give a nice ambiance of particles and noises for pumpkin farm. I built this around Halloween of last year. Just because I was in the mood to have some jack-o'-lanterns. So I have some pumpkins. I have mini pumpkins, pumpkin seeds. Eventually I'm going to turn this whole area into like an agricultural area and have like some auto farms Maybe some auto pumpkin farms, some auto melon farms, villagers growing some things. But right now it's just pumpkins. It's mostly decorative because I don't really use pumpkins that much. But it was fun to build a little farm. And then if we go up, I'm just gonna fly. So you see the wheat farm, which is temporary, but this is also where I have my bone meal. Let me grab these out. And this is where I make my bone meal. Because I love using these bone blocks, but they're so annoying to build or to craft. Which is why I wanted a moss farm, but I didn't have room. So this is my wheat. And this is so far away from where I've been building that it's taken so long to grow. But now it's grown, I just don't feel like harvesting it anymore. But I think that's basically it for the city tour. There's nothing else really to see, I don't think. So I guess call a train and I'll wait to take off. Oh, we're on our way. So thank you so much for watching. I will hopefully have another video where I actually build something very soon. I just wanted to get kind of a city tour and document the progress that I've made so far so that I would know for the future. I can look back and see the progress that I've made, and as the city fades out in the background, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.